and welcome to the New York Sports Host Dominic Hans. We're going to be looking at whether the Boston Red Sox or the New York Mets can make it into the 2019 MLB postseason. Now, I did look at all the teams that both the Red Sox and Mets are going to be playing against for the end of the season and how they play against those teams regularly. So let's see, starting off with the Boston Red Sox. They are third in the MLB AL East standings behind the Tampa Bay Rays. They are 9 games back on the Yankees with a 70-62 win-loss record with a .530 win percentage. Red Sox, it's hard to say with the Red Sox. 15 games back on the New York Yankees, the leaders of that division. And they are 6 games back on the final wild card spot that Tampa Bay has. So basically, the only way for the Boston Red Sox to make into the wild card if Tampa Bay continues to hold that position with the final slot is to somehow win 6 games when Tampa Bay loses 6 games, which doesn't have to be all back-to-back, but they have to somehow be consistent, win 6 games, and have Tampa Bay somehow lose 6 games within the final 5 weeks of this MLB season. Now, I'm currently making this video on Monday, and this is probably going to go out late Monday night, so I know that the Mets and Red Sox are both playing tonight. I'll try to get this out before they play those games, so all the win-loss and the win percentages are correct, but as of now, this is what it stands. Now, Boston, it seems like every time they win the World Series, they just always kind of struggle, at least at the beginning of the season. They struggled big time at the beginning of the season, and they are still struggling. They lost Chris Sale. He does not have to have Tommy John surgery, but he will be out for the rest of the season. So even if somehow, miraculously, the Boston Red Sox make the 2019 MLB postseason, they're going to be without their best pitcher because he blew out his arm. So right there, that is a major L that the Red Sox have taken. Even if they don't make it into the postseason, this has messed them up for the rest of the season. Now, like I said, they are 6.0 games back on the Tampa Bay Rays, who own the second and final wild card spot for the American League division. Now, Tampa Bay, I do think they're going to keep that wild card spot. You do have the Oakland Athletics challenging them, though, so I feel like if anything, it may come down to Tampa Bay and Oakland battling. But the Red Sox, they're what, 2 or 3 slots out from where Tampa Bay is? They are 6 games back. That is a lot to make up. Now, yes, you're like, 6 games. We only have 5 weeks left of the MLB season. And 6 games is a lot to make up. Because not only do you have to win consistently, you also have to hope that the teams in front of you lose enough so you can make it in. Which is, it's impossible right now for the Red Sox to win. It really is impossible for them to make it into the postseason. Now, have teams come back from the deficits down the wild card standings? Yes, in all sports that has happened. But the Red Sox, they just have so much against them right now. They really do. Maybe they can, but even so, they are without their best pitch on their team. So even if they make it the wild card game, that is 1 game. If you lose that game, you are out. So even so, who would you have on the mound? David Price, who is kind of on and off. Nathan Eovaldi, who really has been sucking this year. He's kind of gotten his stuff together, but he's up and down too. Like, really, all the Red Sox pitchers are up and down except for Chris Sale, and he's injured. He is out for the rest of the season. When you think about it, when have the Red Sox ever been doing a horrible season? Like, really, it's always after the World Series. It's like they're on a World Series hangover, like a lot of other MLB teams. But they're not even going to make the playoffs, though. They're not. And, yeah, they somehow they can win the ALE. No. 15 games back on the Yankees. Now that is impossible. You have to hope that you win at least 15 games in the season with only 5 weeks left, which is possible, I guess. But you have to hope you win at least 15 more games in the season. And you have to hope that the Yankees lose 15 games for you to at least tie with them. And you have to hope Tampa Bay doesn't win 85 games. It's not possible. It's really not possible. Going on to the New York Mets. Now, really, they had a lost weekend against the Atlanta Braves. They got swept by them. The Yankees, though, they had an outstanding weekend, winning the series against the Dodgers 2-1. The Mets, I do think they have a chance. Not in the division. They're 12 games back on the Atlanta Braves, 67 and 63. Only a couple games over the 500 win percentage mark. But look at the wild card. 2 games back on the Chicago Cubs. They may actually have a chance. Now, yes, the Cubs are a very good team. World Series champion just a couple of seasons ago, but, you know, it's the Mets that we're talking about. I think the Mets have such a greater chance than the Boston Red Sox on making the postseason. But you have to beat the Cubs, though, who have really been getting their stuff together and been playing a lot more better. That one is going to be a close one. I'm in no way ruling the Mets out because they have a mathematical chance on making the postseason. But you have to look at their schedule and who they're competing against to make it, the Chicago Cubs. It's going to be interesting for the Mets. It's hard to say if they can. If so, they make the wild card. I don't think that they would win the wild card game. And if so, and they somehow win the wild card game against whatever team that they go up against for the wild card, I can't picture them making it past the first round. I really can't. Comment what you think down below. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn that notification on so you'll be the #1 comment. Yo, it's Dominic Cons of the New York Postseason signing out. Peace.